Who's your favorite class?
Right.
Whoa.
It's Wednesday now.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Mike.
Scrub, aka new student review.
Yep.
I hate the word scrub. I like it. Yeah. So
Or wham.
well, weekly activity. Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah. Or the bar report.
The bar.
Yeah.
The bar.
Yeah.
Sounds like an Office Space
It was
thing.
the big report.
Yeah.
So Wednesdays,
Yep.
middle of the week. So you got your midweek report that comes out, letting you know where you stand for the week, how you're trending. Are you going to get to that weekly run rate? But it also is the day that you do your scrub. So a scrub for you consists of what, and what's your expectation going into a scrub, and how would you scrub?
So it's kind of like box scores. It's my halftime. So what I do is I pull the start rate report and then I export it to Excel and then I just color it up. Ugly. I use all different colors, re-entries of color, cancels of color, primary packs of color. I just would color it up, and then probably about an hour before scrub meet, I'd send it out to everybody and say, here's what we're going to discuss. One thing that used to bother me as a DOA is scrub day. Everybody didn't do any production work because all they were doing is running around
Getting ready for
trying to figure out what they had to do with scrub.
Right.
And I was like, well, that's dumb. Why would I want to waste your 4 hours because you're getting ready for my meeting? This ain't my meeting. This is your meeting to tell me how strong your net is or how strong your student population is. So we had to work on that. I had to work with FA on that. I even went over to FA director, and I remember one day I went over there and said, hey, yo, if anybody comes to you on Wednesday, don't see him.
Right.
Don't see him.
Right.
Because every day you should know what's going on. So anyways, so I would color it up, I'd send it out to them, and then I would just do that. I would run down the list, and the way I did scrub is say Mark's FA and you're the rep. Let me back up a little bit. I would either bring one rep at a time, but sometimes I bring them all in at once.
Collectively.
Because sometimes I like training by individuals, like I'm talking to Claude, but Mark should be listening because he can pick up on some stuff, maybe. So I also use it as an opportunistic moment for follow-up, for prioritizing your day, because you can learn a lot in scrub if you ask the right questions, right? So get the report, and then I start at the top. Okay, Charlie Parker, looks like they're app received, not packaged. Talk to me about it, Claude, what's going on? And then you blah, 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 blah. And you start telling me about the dog ate the homework. I'll be like, whoa, don't worry about that stuff. I just need to know how it's progressing. How's voice to voice? Looks like they've been after a week. They haven't been in to see financial aid. I assume they did MSLDS. I'd ask those kind of questions. And you got to be really knowledgeable because you got to ask the right questions, right? And then you do your thing. And then I look over to FA and I say, Mark, talk to me about Charlie Parker. They go through the thing. Well, I've been trying to call him, been hit or miss. I'm like, hit or miss, Claude. So talk to me. What's going on there?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you ask the same questions in every single
Every
NSR?
single NSR.
So it should never be a surprise to the rep what you're going to ask them.
And I used to ask a lot of different questions, but then I found they get frazzled in the morning. So then I started to set things. Last voice to voice. What are next steps? Why ain't it done yet?
So if you were NSRing on this Wednesday, and at the end of the NSR, or while you're NSRing each individual student and you're asking Charlie Paul these questions and these are the next steps, and you may challenge him to do A, B, and C, and you put your notes in. And then the next week at your NSR, do you bring the notes from the previous NSR to this NSR and ask those questions?
So I had a laptop, and I assume we all have laptops, but I did one Excel sheet per start. So I would have, like, it was a 5-week start. I would have 5 or maybe more tabs. Sometimes I'd NSR twice when it got close, so I'd have maybe more tabs. So I had a tab for every NSR. And you can see me in NSR. I usually had, if I had an ADOA or something like that, I'd have them have Campus View up too. Or just early on, when I was, kind of winding down being a DOA, I was fortunate enough to have a TV screen in our room. So we would bring Campus View on the TV screen, and I would have my Excel spreadsheet. So to answer your question, I would toggle back and forth to weeks because I had my notes there. And I'd be like, whoa, wait a minute, you said you were going to get your GED Wednesday. You haven't got that yet, and you're telling me now it's going to be another week. Just talk to me about that. What held them up? So I wasn't trying, I was a detective. I tell everybody, and I do. This is a bad way to say it, but hopefully you guys understand this, and Claude, you understand this. I treat everybody like a liar. Not because they're a liar, but because I wanted to ask questions so I was satisfied that this person is trending well. So that's why I toggle back and forth on notes. Like they're supposed to come in for FA, I put the note in there. If they're waiting on NPN and quiz, or we were waiting on X or Okra or something like that, I'd have my notes there, right? And I have my little check boxes, and then I toggle back. So I see what they said now. It's still not done. I look what they said last week. And then over time, again, they know you know. So then you start to train your audience, and I better have that stuff ready to go, and it's a daily thing. Now, I would, like, let's say Claude's a weak scrubber. He's just weak at it. He's not very good scrubber. It's a training opportunity. I would actually get with you every day so that you start coming into NSR prepared, meaning I would actually hand feed you a little bit. I'd come over to your office, say, yo, Claude, I say, you know, we got scrub tomorrow. These are the things I'm going to be looking for, so I'd like you to come in prepared for that and to let me know what our next steps on that. So I did try to find some people that needed the help, so they come in scrub representing themselves as I felt they should be represented, especially amongst their peers. If you got other reps in there, we need to look good. We need to look sharp. Because my thing was like, you got to convince me they're good on the questions I ask. I ask all the same questions, so you know the playbook. So let's just write to that playbook, you know, that type of thing. So, and then I also find out different things like how they call on, are they text message. I'm very much like, hey, if they haven't done something, like, hey, Mark, will you mind reaching out to them? I know he's tried to, but would you throw a call out to them, the FA director? Or I may say, you know, if I was a DOA, I say, yo, I got this one. Hey, I'm going to call them later on this afternoon. I'll see if I can get a hold of them. So it was also like a kind of a correlation of the thing. But scrub is not meant to go, okay, enrolled, entire packed. Are they good? They're good. Move on. Right? It was more to that because you're missing an opportunity, I feel, to get in the way their mind works, the reps, so you can start to understand them for later. I also would go over all cancels every freaking week. Every freaking week. Even if they're canceled. I would say, talk to me about this. I know we canceled them because they're MIA. Have you reached out to them? No, I haven't reached out to them. Oh, that's okay. I'll research that to Johnny. Johnny, you got that one now. Why don't you go see if you can get that one?
But what do you got if you got a campus like Trades or a campus like Atlanta who has a budget of 80 and better, which means, you know, their gross apps, you know, between the cancels and the apps received and the enrolled, you got 150 students. My biggest start was 250. So how long would an NSR take then? You break it up. You don't do it on Wednesday. Like if you're Atlanta, maybe if you're Dallas, do it on Tuesday and Wednesday. You know, do primary packs on, or do not package and primary packs on Tuesday. Do entire packs on Wednesday. Don't do reentries too. Don't bring reentries. Reentries should be a separate NSR, just with the DOA and the FA director. Like you NSR that. So I would break it up. Other times too, man, is because I hated it. And our NSRs, by the way, our scrubs were quick. It wasn't long. They shouldn't be, especially if you know your business. Why are you in there all day? The next thing is, do you have a problem with people canceling their students before they even get into the NSR? I want them to. Nothing pains me more than someone canceling at scrub, because and then you find out they weren't in contact with them for since last Thursday, and you're like, yo. What? So what I used to always tell people, everything's real time. Anything that happens is real time. Scrub is just a point in time where we can check ourselves, but everything should be flowing. There should be no surprises on that. Like if you do get cancels, it should be like someone crashed their car the night before and they can't go to school now. Right. Because you should know that stuff every day, and that's how scrub moves forward. Really, scrub more for me is the financial aid funnel. If I'm working on emission stuff in scrub, that means I'm not training my guys right on commitment, follow through, next steps, buying committee, that kind of stuff. So really, scrub should be rolling through that pipeline. It's a committed student. It should be. Why do you have to dialogue so much? And this is perfect world, but I'm saying you can get there if you know the data. You feel me? I mean, you know I do, because I look at, we were talking about the 5-3-1s, Yep, I ain't got there yet. Right, I go green, yellow, red. Same thing. With that, let's get to that. What's a 5-3-1? Why do you think it's important? Why do you think it's something that should be tracked week in and week out? What value does it add? Well, there's one value is the guy that says, I'm the rep and you're my DOA, and I go, hey, I just really feel good about them. Can I give him a couple more days to see if I can get a hold of him? Okay. Fine. Okay. But I used to hate it because I'm like, what's a couple more days going to do? Like, the guy's been on the books for like a month.
like he enrolled in January and we're in March start. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. But see what the green, yellow, red, yellow, green or the 5-3-1 can do for you is, okay, that's a 3. That's a 50-50.
Right.
That's a, we don't think he's trending negatively, but he's showing signs or she's showing signs of trending negatively. So a 3 to me is, it's a flip. It's a flip. And I'll show you the conversion on that in a second. So 3 is shaky. A 1 is, man, you should have canceled that a long time ago. Don't be bringing this stuff to me, man.
Right.
And nothing pains me more than when we apply to someone that doesn't have transportation, doesn't have a work schedule, doesn't have the buying committee. That should have been done at the commitment, right? Those things should have been flushed out. Now you want to take some risk, right? You want to take some risk, but from the time you get to here, you should have some of that worked out, right? What?
No, I was just thinking about the next thing I was thinking about taking risks. And what risks should you take when you mention those things? And then the last time
ask me that question.
Last time you asked me that question, last time we spoke, I was about to say, I agree 100%. I was about to say, I agree 100%. I'm not going to say that anymore.
100%.
100%.
It's 100%.
But I think that's important. You know, the risks that you take on those apps that get onto, that stay in your net, that are coming into this NSR, and that rep who is defending, this is why he took it. I like to hear that.
Absolutely, and I support. I love being wrong because I'll even tell people, I was like, "That's a cancel." And I knew I had a good team when they would look me in the eye and say, "It's not a cancel,"
right.
and I'll show you why. And that's the point I wanted to get to as a department. That's the point I want to get to with DOAs. Don't let me challenge you in a negative way. I want to challenge you because you're a baller. You know what I mean? Let's straight up. Let's go one-on-one. I'm not, and that's me. Because I've always believed it makes someone better.
See,
do you get what I'm saying though?
100%. When I get into an NSR and he's already in Tire Pack, he's already enrolled. His voice to voice was just 2 days ago. What was said on the phone? This, that, and my question is the same question. You take him to the bank right now. So if I put him green right now, you're guaranteeing he's going to start?
Absolutely.
Yep, I want to hear yes. Now stuff can happen.
But at this point in time, remember, it's a point in time.
Yep,
it's not meant to be in a week because we don't know what's going to happen in a week. Right now, they would start school. And then I'd look at the FA director and say, you the same? And usually they are, but there's nothing great when the FA director goes,
exactly,
no. That brother's got a $10,000 a month payment.
Right.
Oh, but they're good. Well, wait a minute, Claude. How are they going to pay it? Well, they're going to get a credit card. Okay, they're going to get a credit card. So how are they going to eat their beanie weenies? So 5s are the greens. 5s are, at this point in time, they're going to start school. So at the end of the meeting, I would either, if we're all together, I would do it then, or at the next stand-up. So Thursday. I would get up to the board because I had a board in my office. Okay, here's what we got going on today, Thursday. Thursday's my day. And I go up there, okay, here's our gross, here's our net. In that net, let's say it's 20 net. We've got 10 5s and we have 10 3s because we canceled all the people that we didn't think were going to start. We're still going to work them, but they're canceled. So those 10 50-50s, usually it's about a 50%. I mean, get a hit or miss. So I'm going to say, okay, out of that 10, we probably got 5 good ones in there, maybe 4. So really, we're about 14 strong. And then I would actually do the algorithm too. I would do that, and then I'd see how close it was. Because I was training them. Remember, I'm training them to be a DOA. So they'd start to get it. Okay, I kind of understand this kind of thing now. So that 5-3-1 or red, yellow, green was important for me, so I knew the strength of my net. And I could fluctuate my run rate. Or if I knew I was having a really good, if I had all 5s and it was like 2 weeks before the start, dual run rate, baby. I'm going to start working on the next start. And tell you what, if you're going to write something, you're going to trade out a cancel. So if you're going to bring me a cancel today, you're going to trade that out with someone else. So then I'm 1-for-1 and I'm working my dual run rate. So the 5-3-1 is a kind of another barometer as you're leading into it.
And it's just like, I love what you just said when with the algorithm for the forecaster. After you get finished with your NSR and you see what your pact is now, and you see, well, if my start now was this, I'm only going to start this. Well, you're about to flip 5 or 6 of these based off of your NSR. Plug that into your forecast.
Use anecdotal with the science. Don't be dumb.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And see what you need to do.
Because Charlie Parker's the dumb one. All I'm doing is looking at your data and doing a straight data analysis. I don't know the anecdotal. But if you're a weak DOA, And you go, yeah, I guess that's my start. And you feel all like Charlie's bringing me down and yelling at me, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not, because you're going to come up to me like you did when you were a DOA and say, yo, yeah, you're right. I'm at 20 right now, but here's what you don't know.
Right.
I got 27 appointments coming in. I usually close about 40, 50%. I've got 6 applications I haven't even put in yet because my front desk is too daggone lazy and they ain't put them in yet. So don't even ask me why they're not in, because I just told you. And so I'm actually better than you think I am. And then you know what I do to you? I don't need to talk to you no more.
And by the way,
does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. And by the way, I got these many cancels in my back pocket.
There you go.
So looking at...
And my start rate may be better.
Right. And I'm trending at this start rate right now. It's only going to go down a little bit, but right now you're saying I only have X number of strong in mine. I'm telling you, my net is tight. There's nothing wrong with my net.
That's
right
owning
now.
your business. Charlie Parker can't tell you your business. Charlie Parker, the way I talk to people, I just want to know you know.
You know you refer to yourself in the third
yeah,
person twice,
that is
right?
really, really lame.
Third person twice.
Mark, cut that out. Cut that out. So we're going to cut this into actually 3 segments. And what I'm going to do is send you out all 3. But we should be about 1 hour and 20. Mark will cut out all the nonsense and get it to probably about 50 minutes or an hour. And so let's try to do 20-minute segments or something like that, Mark. But there'll be 3 sections of it. Listen to it as you will.